Right now, you are making the single biggest mistake a man can make in the game of attraction. You are trying to win her back by giving her more of the very thing that made her lose interest in the first place, your attention. You think that if you just explain yourself one more time, if you wait long enough, or if you show her how much you still care, she will finally wake up and realize your worth. But here is the cold, psychological truth that no one wants to tell you. The moment you truly stop reaching for her is the exact moment she starts losing sleep over you. Attraction is not a reward for good behavior, it is a response to perceived value and scarcity. When you chase, you communicate that your world revolves around her, and the human mind is neurologically incapable of obsessing over something it already owns. By the time you finish this, you will understand the detachment paradox, the science of why walking away creates a level of psychological chaos in a woman that no amount of chasing ever could. I am going to expose why absence is temporary, but detachment feels permanent, and how reclaiming your identity is the only way to reintroduce the curiosity that attraction requires to survive. And pay close attention to the final section, because I'm going to reveal the test of return, the moment she reaches back out, and how one single mistake in that second can reset your progress back to zero. If you are tired of being the one who waits and you're ready to be the man who is pursued, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this. To understand why moving on makes a woman go crazy, you first have to understand the concept of the solved puzzle. Human attraction is driven by the dopaminergic system, which thrives on uncertainty and the chase. When you first met, you were a mystery. You had your own life, your own goals, and your own energy. She had to earn your attention. But the moment you started centering her life above your own, you became a solved puzzle. You became predictable. You became safe. And the human brain does not allocate resources to obsess over what is already guaranteed. Most men think they lose a woman because they weren't enough, but the truth is they lose her because they abandon themselves trying to be enough. This is self-abandonment, and it is the ultimate attraction killer. No woman can truly respect a man who does not respect his own time, his own boundaries, and his own mission. When you stop leading your life and start managing her moods, you stop being a man and start being an accessory. The shift happens the moment you decide to stop participating in the cycle. This isn't about playing games or no contact as a manipulation tactic. If your goal is to make her miss you, you haven't moved on, you are still orbiting her. True power comes from genuine detachment. This is when you decide that the information she has given you, her lack of effort, her confusion, or her withdrawal, is enough for you to make a final decision. You stop seeking closure from her and you start creating closure for yourself. When you truly detach, your posture changes, your voice changes, and your focus shifts. This creates a vacuum of attention. For weeks or months, she was used to the safety net of your availability. She knew that no matter what she did, you were just one text away. When that net is suddenly removed, it triggers a scarcity alarm in her subconscious. Suddenly, the man she solved is a mystery again. But why does she go crazy? It's because you broke the pattern she was comfortable controlling. Human beings are creatures of habit, and we derive a sense of power from knowing where we stand with others. By moving on, you have removed her power over your emotional state. You are no longer reacting to her pull, you are following your own gravity. This reintroduces curiosity. Attraction cannot exist without curiosity, and curiosity cannot exist without distance. When you are genuinely gone, not checking her stories, not asking mutual friends about her, not rereading old messages, you become an unknown variable again. The brain hates an unknown variable. It begins to replay old memories, wondering why the guaranteed source of validation is no longer there. This is where the obsession begins, not because you are perfect, but because you are gone. The cost of staying stuck in the hope phase is your identity. Every day you spend waiting for a reply is a day you are not building your empire. You are effectively in mental slavery, allowing another person to dictate your internal weather. This dependency destroys your masculine frame. A man in his frame is calm, grounded, and unshaken. He does not panic when someone pulls away. He observes and he adjusts. He realizes that his value is not determined by her choice to stay, but by his choice to live according to his standards. When you move on, you aren't just leaving her, you are returning to yourself. You are training harder, you are working deeper, and you are strengthening your circle. This redirective energy is what creates gravitational pull. People are drawn to those who have a clear direction. Direction replaces obsession. Here is where most men fumble: the breadcrumb phase. Eventually, when she feels the weight of your detachment, she will reach out. It might be a thinking of you text or a random question. Most men see this as their chance and immediately drop everything to return to the old pattern. They reply instantly, they explain how much they've missed her, and they surrender their frame within seconds. This is a catastrophic mistake. It proves to her that you didn't move on, you just paused. It tells her that the scavenger hunt is over and the puzzle is solved again. The test of return requires you to maintain your detachment. You respond with politeness, but without emotional overexposure. You don't ignore her to be cool. You are simply too busy living a life that no longer revolves around her validation to be bothered by a breadcrumb. This level of self-trust is what makes a man legendary. You have to realize that closure is not something she gives you in a final conversation. Closure is a decision you make when you realize that "I don't know" or "I'm confused" is a complete answer. You don't need a 3-hour talk to understand that someone is not prioritizing you. You need a decision to stop prioritizing them. Once you make that decision, your tolerance for half effort drops to zero. Your standards rise. You stop entertaining confusion and you start embracing alignment. You stop asking, "How do I get her back?" And you start asking, "Does she even deserve access to the man I am becoming?" This shift in perspective changes the entire chemistry of your life. The goal of moving on is not to win her back. The goal is to become the man who doesn't need her back to feel whole. Once you reach that point, you don't just attract differently, you live differently. You stop being a choice and you start being the chooser. You understand that your energy is your most valuable resource and you refuse to spend it on people who are comfortable watching you chase. This is the truth no one tells you. The man who is willing to walk away and never look back is the only man who can ever truly be pursued. If you are still checking her social media or rereading those old texts, you are still in a cage. You are choosing the comfort of a familiar pain over the uncertainty of a new life. It's time to break the lock. Redirect that focus into your body, into your mission, and into your future. Moving on is the ultimate act of self-respect. And in the world of psychology, self-respect is the only foundation upon which a lasting, powerful attraction can ever be built. Stop negotiating your worth. State your standards by how you live, not by what you say. Walk forward without hesitation. But as powerful as detachment is, it is only one part of the attraction equation. Reclaiming your energy is the fuel, but knowing how to direct that energy when you encounter her again is what seals the deal. There is a specific way to interact once she returns, a way that maintains your mystery while showing your strength. If you fail to handle that re-entry correctly, you will fall right back into the same trap that broke you the first time. I have broken down exactly how to handle the moment she comes back in my next video. It covers the specific conversational frames and body language cues that prove you are a new man. If you've decided to choose yourself today, that video is your next training manual. It's on your screen right now. Click it, and let's make sure this transformation is permanent.